this was a series that I wasn't going to watch. I was going to completely just skip past this one in the MCU universe. And everybody kept asking to watch it. Everybody kept asking, have you seen What If yet? Have you seen What If yet? Have you seen What If yet? And I finally decided to sit down and watch it. I ended up binging 6 episodes. 6 episodes in one day. And then I ended up watching the 7th episode, and I watched the 8th and 9th episode when it came out, an actual air date. And you know what? I actually enjoyed this series, and this is canon too. So if you haven't seen Marvel What If, you need to hop on it, because on this episode when we break down series review, we're gonna review it. What's up, world? Welcome to the episode when we break down. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdown Series Review. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What is Movie Breakdown Series Review? It's a movie review series where we look at movies, TV shows, anime, cartoons, give each individual season a grade, and give a compilation grade at the end of it all. And there's a series when we review, please put in the comment section below and I get to it as best I can. Also the Patreon, Patreon/Ali Zakka. And on Patreon, you for $2 a month get a cut in front of everybody when you actually do anything. As we review anything, I will review it and put it out there. Plus you get extra content like trade reaction, trade reviews, much more stuff before it comes out on YouTube and Facebook. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's episode of Marvel's What If. Now, this first part of this video is going to be spoiler free, and then the second half of the video is going to be spoiler filled. So, first part, you haven't seen What If, you can sit around right now and I'm just going to talk about what the series is about. And if you watch the trailers, in the trailer, there's a character called the Watcher, and he is going to different universes and telling you different scenarios that could have happened. Like, for example, the trailer you'll see is that what if Captain America didn't get the super soldier serum, but Haley Atwell character did? Like, what if Captain Carter got it and became Captain America? Or another example is what happens if Star-Lord doesn't get picked up. Chris Pratt character, I can't think Star-Lord's actual character's name. What if he doesn't get picked up, but T'Challa gets picked up and T'Challa becomes Star-Lord? So those scenarios like that happen, and there's different episodes that take you on different scenarios of what if this situation happened. And it's different universes. So after Loki, you find out there's a multiverse. Well, this right here is you're going to those multiverses and seeing what can actually transpire if one or two things happen differently. And the Watcher is the one character overall who's kind of leading you through the journeys and leading you through these different universes and seeing what is happening. And the Watcher is a guy who is just pretty much watching. That's literally what he is. He is watching the situation that transpire. And for the most part, episode, like the couple episodes you'll see, be like, oh, it's cool episodes, average. You don't think anything else of it. If you haven't seen the MCU movies, you're definitely gonna be lost on certain scenarios. Like, oh, wait a minute, that's from that one movie. That's from that one movie. That's from that one movie. If you haven't seen those movies, you'll be like, well, I don't even know what this is pertaining to. But if you've seen the MCU movies, like especially seen them all, every event that happened in the movies are pretty much on the show, and it just takes a different turn. It's like, what if one person went right instead of left, or one person took a bite of this instead of sitting down and walking out the door? Like, these things can change the whole events of the world, and I freaking love that. I kind of really enjoyed it. The first episode I wasn't so hot about, but then like afterwards I was like, oh yes, I am invested in this series and I want to see what happens next. Now, Kevin Feige is the overall guy over this, and Kevin Feige made this canon. So this is a canon series, but this series is done by, let me see if I can find the director. So it wasn't the writers, but I was looking at the creators and the producers, and A.C. Bradley was the one I was looking for. So A.C. Bradley was the one that helped create the series, the What If series, and Kevin Feige is looking is the executive producer over it, and AC Bradley's also executive producer as well. So that's who kind of got this off the ground and going with it. And then as far as studios, Marvel Studios and one other studio that also worked on it, Flying Bark Productions. So Marvel Studios and Flying Bark Productions are the companies that worked on the What If series. And as far as characters in this series, there's a lot of voice actors from the movies. The actual character that played the actual actor that played the character in the movies is back in the series. This is like Chadwick Boseman, one of his last, rest in peace, one of his last things he did before he passed away, and his voice is throughout this whole season. It is great to hear Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. Also Haley Atwell, who played Peggy Carter in the Captain America First Avenger movie, she is back in voicing Carter in this. Sebastian Stan comes back. Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson comes back. I'm going to say Nick Fury, but yeah, Samuel Jackson comes back. So a bunch of other characters and actors that come back and redo their role for this series. One of my favorite is Tom Hiddleston, and he's back in this. So it's great hearing the cast and hearing the actual voices of the characters from the movies in this actual animated cartoon. I think it's great. There are a few characters, a few actors and actresses that do not reprise a role for this series. For example, Captain America is not done by Chris Evans, and I'll say Tom Hardy, but it's not Tom Hardy. Tom Holland does not voice Spider-Man in this, but that's okay because their voices is still it still works for what the series is trying to give. Any other thoughts before jumping into, is this a series you should watch, a season you should watch? The music is great. I think the music works for certain characters, certain episodes. The animation, it grows on me. It grows. I think the animation is fine. It's unique. It's different style. I think it works for this season as well. I was fine with it. Character design, solid. It works. It's good. And that's about it before getting into spoilers. So let's go ahead and say, as this is a season you should watch. Yes, this is a season you should watch. If you're a fan of the MCU, definitely watch this season. If you're not a fan of the MCU, this might come back around and bite you because this is canon. So if you don't watch the MCU, you might not know what's going on in some of the future movies. So definitely watch the season. I think it's worth the watch. I don't think you'll be bored by it. I think you'll definitely be surprised. Grading time. I'm going to grade Marvel's What If Season 1 an A. It gets an A for me. And a lot of things that I appreciated, the show, each one's like 30 to 40 minutes long. And I think that's solid for, a mini series. You can watch an episode, pick it up, digest it. But also there's some comedy in each episode you get. There's episodes that talk more about loss and grief and not just happy-go-lucky. Like, it's some deep stuff that happens in a lot of these episodes I can't really talk about until spoilers. But there's more than just the basic Marvel quips and, copy and paste. This season has a lot of different stuff. Yes, it's like, what if, Peggy Carter became Captain America, but it's not that Captain America, it's actually a different version, and it kind of take it with legs. Just because it's not copy and paste from the exact movie. Some of the bits are copy and paste. Some of the differences in the season or in the episodes are different from how the movie plays out, which I think is kind of cool. So it's definitely worth the watch. I give it a thumbs up, double thumbs up. It's an A for me. If you guys seen Marvel's What If, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, thank you guys for watching this episode movie breakdown. I really appreciate it. And then stick around for the spoilers. You want to be spoiled because there's a few episodes I really want to talk about. So see you on the spoiler side in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and kick off the spoiler side of things with the What If series. So, one of my favorite episodes is What If T'Challa Became Star-Lord. That one is really unique and really over the top. Like, Thanos is actually in this series as well. He's in it in different scenarios. He's not just in it purely as, you know, just pure bad Thanos. Matter of fact, in the episode with Star-Lord being T'Challa, Thanos is actually a good guy. He's part of the Ravengers. And the Ravengers have been turned over to have a new leaf thanks to T'Challa's presence. So that was one of the cool episodes. And actually the big bad in that episode is the Collector. And it is voiced by Benicio del Toro. He does voice the Collector in that episode. And also another little fun fact, the director of a few of these episodes, Brian Andrews, directed it as well. He's also an executive producer, but he also helped direct some of these episodes. Matter of fact, I believe he's the one that directed all the episodes. Director, A.C. Bradley was a writer. Brian Andrews did direct all the episodes. That's what I was looking for earlier in the first half. So, yeah, A.C. Bradley was a writer, and he also created, you know, an executive producer. But Brian Andrews helped direct some of these episodes, not all the episodes. But those episodes, like T'Challa and Thanos teaming up. Also, another episode that really got me was What If Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? And that was a different twist. It went down the path of Doctor Strange actually losing his girlfriend, who was in the episodes. Like, she was in the episode from the very beginning. Instead of, you know, Doctor Strange going to that event by himself, he takes his girlfriend and they're going to that event together, and she dies over and over again, and they can't reverse it because her death leads to him becoming Doctor Strange, becoming a superhero. If it wasn't for her death, it would never happen. So it would come a point in time where her death, no matter what Doctor Strange did, will always happen on that day. And like, I felt like it could have been just 5 minutes, but it was a scene where, like, every episode or there's a scene where just every moment Doctor Strange would go back in time to reverse it, and she would die again, and she would die again. He didn't go talk to her, she would die. He would pick her up, she would die. She would drive the car, she would die. Like, no matter what happened, his girlfriend died. And there's a point where he, like, loses it. He goes and, like, absorb these monsters and absorb these things, kind of figure out how to way to reverse time and reverse death. And he does manage to save her, but then she ended up dying anyway. And he still loses her, and Doctor Strange in this universe, like, has to be forced to live in a ball, an orb in the universe for the rest of his life. And that's another thing with the What If series. A lot of these episodes end in tragedy. Like, you have a happy moment, and then the next piece or the next scene is something tragic is about to happen. For example, what if the world lost their heroes? So there's another episode where the Avengers are getting killed off before the Avenger team can be made, and Thor ends up dying, which caused Loki to come to Earth, and Loki and Nick Fury teams up, and they kind of find out it is Ant-Man, but not Scott Lang, but Hank Pym's Ant-Man. And Ant-Man has become the Wasp, and he blames S.H.I.E.L.D. for the loss of his daughter. So with that being said, Nick Fury and Loki defeat Hank Pym, and then Loki takes over the United States. He takes over Earth, and that ends the episode with Nick Fury getting Captain America out of the ice and then calling in Captain Marvel. But like, a lot of the episode ends in doom and gloom, and you're just like, well, I guess these universes are messed up. There's no saving them. Like, this is the end for these universes. The T'Challa Star-Lord one, for example, Ego finds Star-Lord, his son, at a Dairy Queen at the end of the episode, and you know what happened because of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, what happened when Ego found, you know, Star-Lord. So, what is his name? I cannot think of Star-Lord's name right now to save my life. I want to call it Chris Pratt, but it's not Chris Pratt. But yeah, that is, it's some very terrifying stuff. And one of the biggest things, 'cause I thought it was maybe just, 9 different episodes, 9 different what if scenarios, and that's just it. But no, this is actually a continuation. There's a legit story to this. It's not just each individual episode left on its own. This is actual continuation. Episode 8 and 9. Episode 8 is what if Ultron won? And then Ultron actually fights Thanos and just kills Thanos and take the Infinity Stones and pretty much make himself into a giant Infinity Gauntlet. And just goes all over to different universes conquering them. But then he interacts with the Watcher, who the Watcher has been interacting with people left and right throughout the season. He's not supposed to interact with people. Who played by Jeffrey Wright, by the way. The Watcher is just supposed to watch over everything. His oath is that he would never intervene. Well, he has to intervene because they're coming to him. Ultron has now started fighting the Watchers. The Watcher went and pulled different heroes from different episodes and put them all together to fight Ultron. And it's a pretty cool finale to a pretty cool season that I was like, oh man, did not expect that to happen. Also, another thing, they trusted Killmonger, and Killmonger is definitely a bad guy. I don't understand why they keep trusting Killmonger. And I know Killmonger was the star of his own episode, but at the same time, he's a bad guy, bro. Why did you trust Killmonger? But I really, really appreciate and enjoy this season. Another thing I really liked is that Captain Marvel, you get a lot more of her in this season. You get her versus Thor, you get her versus Ultron, you get her versus a bunch of other people. Like, she is just not like off her own, like I'll be back. No, she's like has a presence in this season, and she's around a lot, which I think that's pretty cool too. And I just like the different take on this. I didn't think I really enjoyed the series when I first sat down and watched it, and then binge watching the whole thing. So it's great. If you've seen Marvel's What If, what did you think? I think it's an A. I really enjoyed it. What did you think? Please put in the comment section below. That's it for the spoilers. That's pretty much all I really want to talk about. Was like the Doctor Strange episode, which I'm not gonna I'm gonna leave it a little bit open so you can go watch it. The T'Challa Star-Lord episode, and then like it's actually an actual story. It's not just like individual episodes on their own. There's a reason. Another episode is the zombie episode, and that one has a really heartfelt moment too. So check that one out. But yeah, if you guys seen Marvel's What If, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.